But it was another day of heated exchanges as the impeachment inquiry into the public protector continued. Former SARS executive Johann Loggerenberg was grilled by the public protector's legal representative, Advocate Dali Mpofu. The issue of calling President Cyril Ramaphosa to the inquiry also being raised again. Yesterday, the president said there was no need for him to appear. Athi Mtongana has been watching the proceedings. Of course, Athi, these proceedings, the tempo in there seems to just increase by the day. Give us a sense of the key things to come out of today.
Well, some of the key things to come out today is the line of questioning by Public Protector's Senior Legal Counsel, Advocate Dali Mpofu, so much so, Kathy, that Mr. Loggerenberg contacted the chairperson, Richard Janki, during the brief break that we heard during the day, saying that he's concerned about how the advocate is questioning him pertaining, of course, to his role as a executive at the South African Revenue Services. This, of course, in connection to the investigation that was conducted by the public protector pertaining to the so-called rogue unit. And so that was basically some of the issues, or those were some of the issues that came out, the line of questioning by Advocate Dali Mpofu. To some end, we even had the DA's Kevin Mileham interjecting and saying that Advocate Dali Mpofu accusing him of being disrespectful when the FF Plus Mr. Moldler raised an issue within the hearings, and subsequently agreeing that they have to keep these proceedings to the highest of integrity and respect for one another. And this again points to how the other witnesses will be cross-examined when they do appear. We're expecting Ivan Pillay tomorrow to be called before the committee to be the third witness to come and give oral evidence. But again, the issue that you speak of around the president, calls are indeed mounting for the president to come and appear before the impeachment hearings against the public protector. We have the EFF's Julius Malema today coming out to back the UDM's Bantu Olomisa and Advocate Dali Mpofu, calling on the president to come and appear. This despite the president, as you've said yesterday, saying that he has nothing to answer to, given the fact that he says he has not accused the public protector of anything. And even if they claim that the suspension was premature, as Advocate Dali Mpofu has been saying before the impeachment inquiry, he says he suspended the public protector at the back of the Constitution, giving him the powers to do so, at the back of the resolution that came from the National Assembly to then establish these hearings for the removal proceedings against the head of a Chapter 9 institution. And he also pointed to the issue around the CR17 campaign, because Bantu Olomisa brought it up yesterday, saying that if the constitutional law expert who appeared a couple of days ago, Mr. Ibrahim, saying that judges might err in their judgment, then the president should come and appear, regardless of the fact that the issue around the CR17 campaign funding was dealt with by the courts. The general says then the president does need to come and appear. But the president says because the issue around the CR17 campaign was dealt with by the courts, he has nothing to answer to before the impeachment inquiry. It's going as further as saying he rejects the calls of abuse within these hearings. So again, Kathy, tomorrow we're expecting the third witness to be called, Mr. Ivan Pillay.
Athi, I want to talk about this video that has been central to today's proceedings, in which Advocate Mkhwebane is said to have referred to the unit at SARS as a rogue unit. Tell us the role it plays in the evidence of Johann van Loggerenberg.
It played a key role, Kathy, given the fact that some of the charges that have actually landed the public protector before this inquiry is as a result of her work in as far as her investigations around the so-called rogue unit. Mr. Loggerenberg didn't even want the particular unit which he worked in at SARS to be referred to as the rogue unit. He made pronouncements. He says that the public protector made pronouncements before even getting into the probing of the so-called SARS rogue unit outside of, the proceedings actually, or the investigation actually taking place, saying that in that video then that you speak of, Kathy, the public protector made mention of this name, the rogue unit, before she actually probed this so-called unit within SARS, saying that she had already made prejudice around the involvement of the witnesses that he says, including him, were not given an opportunity to ventilate their side of the story, given the fact that they were implicated in the so-called rogue unit. And even when the legal representation for the public protector was questioning the second witness, Mr. Loggerenberg, Dali Mpofu asked him whether he was aware that that investigation by the public protector was primarily targeted at the Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan. He went as further as to say, yes, he is aware of that, but he emphasized the issue that he wasn't afforded an opportunity by the public protector, despite having a cell phone number that he's been using for a number of years, and saying even the address that the public protector used in her subpoena letters is an address that he doesn't recognize. And so he reiterated what he has deposed in his affidavit, and as far as him saying that the public protector did not give him an opportunity to give his side of the story pertaining to this unit within SARS.
Athi, just before I let you go, a lot of the issues that are going to come before this inquiry are also issues that have been deliberated on in the country's courts. There are judgments on things like the existence of that so-called rogue unit. What role do those judgments play in proceedings of this nature?
If you recall, Kathy, that the Democratic Alliance brought the motion against the public protector at the backdrop of mounting court proceedings that ruled against her investigations. And this SARS so-called rogue unit investigation is one of them. And so it is important that they go through the judgments. The evidence leader, Advocate Nazreen Bawa, yesterday emphasized how important it is for her to read out those judgments. It's not only the SARS issue that's going to be dealt with. They're going to obviously be looking at other adverse findings against the public protector's reports, which have come out from the courts. So she emphasized how important it is to read out exactly what the courts found in the workings of the public protector and her understanding of the law. And so those issues are definitely going to be ventilated within these hearings, given the fact that the charges, the 4 charges that the public protector is facing within these impeachment inquiries stem from these court proceedings. Then speaking also to these court proceedings, Kathy, I just want to also note that on the 25th and the 26th of this month, the public protector is continuing with her challenge of her suspension by President Cyril Ramaphosa, an issue that has been muchly debated within these hearings, Kathy, wherein the chairperson of this committee went as far as to say they were not part of the decision to suspend the public protector, even though Advocate Dali Mpofu was arguing that the suspension was wrong, illegal, and premature. The committee emphasized this point before the public protector's legal representation, that the issue around the suspension should not be a discussion within the committee, given the fact that it's an issue that's being dealt with by the courts.
All right. Athi Mtongana, we'll leave it there for now.